This is not only my story, this is the story of every woman in Afghanistan. Hi everyone, I'm Fatima, a 23 years old girl from Afghanistan who was evacuated to Italy, and I'm known as the first female tour guide of Afghanistan. This is Women Beyond Border for Euronews Travel. Afghanistan was getting to be a better place for its residents. As things were improving, women were finding better situation. But on August of 2021, Taliban captured Afghanistan. I wish it was a nightmare, but it was a reality, and that was Taliban who captured our country and made us to be refugees and leave everything behind, or those who stayed in Afghanistan or remained in Afghanistan, all their achievements turned to zero. The Security Council, they called me straightly, Fatima, now you are a target for Taliban. If they capture your town, they straightly will kill you. So please leave Herat as soon as possible. It was not easy for me to leave Herat, to leave my parents, to leave my friends, to leave my university, to leave my organization that I was teaching there, to leave my radio program. But I thought of one thing. If Taliban captured me, they would not only kill me, but also they would hurt my family too. I found that my name is on 5 or 6 flight lists. But getting a seat in the plane was not a problem for me. Getting into the airport was a problem for me. There I saw just a great crowd of people and Taliban who were really aggressive to the people. A lot of gunshots. I saw people who were killed. I saw people who were injured. I saw people who lost their children. And once we get into the airport, I thanked God I was feeling safe and no more the fear of being killed, the fear of being tortured. I was a 7-year-old girl who had to work as a shepherd on hot deserts. The boys in our village, they didn't have a school. They were standing next to a river under the shadow of a tree. So next to the river, there were lots of green grasses. So I could take my sheep and cows next to that river and hiddenly listen to the teacher who was teaching the boys. On that time, I never had a pen or a book or just a stationery to go on with my studies. So the way I used to practice my writing and reading, it was writing on the sands, mountains, using sticks. After that, the Red Cross organization in our village offered some food for the families who let their girls go to educate. But the condition was I had to continue with being a shepherd too. When I was 10 years old girl, due to the conflict that we had in our village, my father decided to move to Herat. For 3 years, I couldn't go to school. I just sat at home, but it was not a reason for me to give up. I started to make handicrafts as my mother was selling them to the local shops. Before I was making handicrafts during the day, I started to just decrease my sleep and make some handicrafts during the night too. So by this way, I could earn more money and I could participate to a private school. And after 8 months of my hard work, I was fluent in English. So they hired me as an English assistant teacher. That was the way I started my school. I stopped making handicrafts. Instead, I focused more on my studies at school and also focused on learning English and teaching my students. I passed the university entrance exam. I was accepted in my favorite field, to study journalism. In the university, one of my teachers, he just gave me a project. The project was to search about Afghanistan's attraction, mainly about Herat's attractions, touristic attractions. As I was searching, I decided to write on a travel diary group on Facebook. Interestingly, one day a person messaged me, "Hi Fatima, I'm a traveler from Ukraine. We are going to come to Herat. We are 2 people and we don't have a tour guide there. So if you have the time and the energy, please show us your city." For me, it was just like a miracle, just like a light in my heart. I just said, wow, visiting 2 foreigners and speaking English 2 days with them, and also introducing just very positive things about Afghanistan from the perspective of a woman. After 1 week, the Untamed Border contacted me. "Hi Fatima, you just guided Constantine and Victor, and they really talked about you and explained that you are very knowledgeable about your city. We are coming to Herat next week, and if you pass a test, if you are eligible, then you can be a tour guide in our organization." That one day, actually, that was very important for me to succeed. So I did my best. I think after 2 days, they said, "Okay, Fatima, be ready for your next guest and you are hired." And this was how I get into the point I get to be the first female tour guide of Afghanistan. I enjoyed being the first female tour guide. It made me both sad and happy. Sad because in 21st century I was the first. Happy because for the first time I was introducing Afghanistan from the perspective of a woman to the world in a positive way.
Actually, this is a shack. This is first, they have the vegetables here, and also they have some butter. It's our pleasure to serve you food.
Thank you so much.
When I decided to be a tour guide, I had to talk to my parents first. When I told them, they were really angry. My father was really angry. He was telling me, "Fatima, are you crazy? Are you going to carve your own grave? It's dangerous for you. You are a girl, you cannot do this." Or the same my mother. But I talked to them a lot and I told them, this is my life and I have to decide about this. I really respect you, I really love you, but this is my life and I'm the only one who can decide about that. I remember the days who there were so many children hitting me with a stone, or the days that people on the street were watching me strangely as I have done so many wrong things, and they were looking strangely at me, telling so many bad words to me, insulting me. I was telling myself, Fatima, what they are doing is just asking you to be stronger, to work harder. And in that way, I just could fight. So they motivated me to be harder, to fight actually in a better way. This is not only my story, this is the story of every woman in Afghanistan. I'm a sibling of 7 siblings who are all illiterate and uneducated. When I'm thinking of them, my sisters, they were only 15 to 18 years old girl who had to get married. Or my brothers, they never could continue their education. and they had to get married with the ones who they didn't want. Maybe my story has a lot of hardships or sad things inside, but if you could hear the story of my older sister, it's just like horrible, and you cannot hear that. This was a reason for me to change what happened to my sisters, at least about myself. I promised myself to never be hopeless and to never give up, especially my motivation. What I want now is just going forward changes. As my motto is, I want to really be a changer, not a victim. I want to go forward my dreams. I want to be a professional journalist who writes and reflects so many stories in Afghanistan. I want to be the first female who opened a tourism company in Afghanistan, empowering women and training female tour guides. What I can tell you now is I want to continue with my education, and beside that I will start traveling, and I will see the world. I will learn so many things, and then I will apply all I learned here in Afghanistan. I will do my best to do the best, to be the best, and to help Afghanistan be a better place for living. Afghanistan is a part of the world, and the world without Afghanistan is incomplete. This motivates me a lot to be stronger, to work harder, and to be the Fatima that I like to be.